Hey there, Assalamu alaikum everybody, welcome back for another amazing video. This video is like a continuum, goes over two major arguments that a lot of people make when it comes to getting conventional loans. One is the necessity argument, and two is that we as Muslims will become weak in the West if we don't pick up a riba loan. Without any further ado, let's get this video started. Alright, first argument, which is this is a necessity. Living is a necessity. My home is a necessity. Ownership of land is a necessity. Sure, having a house is a necessity. Sure, having your own roof over your head is a necessity. But at what cost? Let's break this down. You have solutions, you have options in the West other than trying to buy it on conventional loans. So first option is you rent. Ahmed, rent is too high, it's too expensive. So is the fire in hell, it's too high. Well, then you have halal loans you can pick up. You can go with them. Ahmed, again, they're too expensive. They make it very difficult for me to pay up that loan and stuff like that. I'm going to be ending up paying $500 more than if I just picked up my conventional mortgage. Okay, so then the previous argument, well, between these two options, you have one of these options that you can take. And is $400, $500, more going to affect you? Well, then no, Ahmed, I'm not making any equity on these money. I'm helping somebody else build equity on their house. Well, you're helping somebody else make equity, then go back to the halal mortgage. Both ways is too expensive, Ahmed. I can't go through I want something cheap and where I'm building an asset for myself and my future family. But you're doing it at which cost? You're doing it at cost of doing something haram. Okay, well, no, Ahmed, it's a necessity now. Well, okay, I give you a solution. It's not a necessity for you to eat, for you to get a haram mortgage in the Western countries anymore, because you can get something which is halal, which might be a little more expensive, but it's there. So the necessity argument goes out the window. This necessity argument and then the fatwas that you guys are seeing might have been valid when these fatwas were written 25 years ago, 20 years ago in the West, when there was no halal mortgages, and back then it was very difficult sometimes because of discrimination to get rental apartments or rental housing, and Muslims ended up being in this in a few of the worst areas within society in the West, which is, I understand, and the ghettos of these Western countries, but it's not the same anymore. You can go anywhere. Rather, I know landlords who are non-Muslim, really, who could be Christians, who are Jewish, or who are Buddhist or Hindu. They want to give it to Muslim tenants because they know that Muslims don't drink, they don't smoke, they don't party, they don't do anything crazy within the house. They're like pretty much live their life normally, and that's it. You go off on your way, and they're happy to do that. There's no marijuana, there's no sleeping around, none of that stuff. So they're happy to do this, and I've heard this directly from landlords. They're happier with giving houses to Muslim tenants because it's easier for them also. So your necessity argument goes out the window. Okay, so there is solutions out there in the world, and again, necessity you can bring back to this discussion. If there's also an ayat in the Quran, and we'll link it, I'll put it here. Allah's land is very vast, and I'm paraphrasing, and Allah forgive me if I make a mistake in this. Allah's land is very vast. If it's difficult for you to live in one place, you can move. There's multiple countries out there in the world who are Muslim oriented, and you can't, Muslim countries don't have the same lifestyle. Well, again, you're trying to do haram for a lifestyle. Secondly, that's wrong, because there's multiple countries out there that give you a better lifestyle, truly give you a better lifestyle for a cheaper amount, and where you can do halal. Genuinely you can do halal. So that whole necessity argument, not valid. Okay, second argument. Number two is that we will become weak in the Western lands, and we shouldn't become weak. Okay, so this argument is actually a very stupid argument, and let me explain. Hear me out here. Okay, and send this video to the people who use this argument in your family or friends or whatever, because this will give them a better understanding logically on how their thought and their thinking process and decision-making process was not valid. And I'm sorry, I have to sometimes be blunt, because sometimes being soft, people don't understand from their heart. So I have to be blunt. Here, when we take a loan, a conventional loan, there's somebody else on the other side that's profiting from this risk less. No matter what happens, they're gonna benefit from this. Why do you think there's massive industries made on the basis of riba? Massive. Okay, if you want bigger understanding of this, guess why our Muslim countries are deep in the trenches? Because they take IMF loans. And guess how much interest rates are on the IMF loans? 15 to 20 something percent. So do research on this and see who benefits from those IMF loans. So saying that I have to take this loan because we will become weak is actually kind of like an oxymoron. It's like the opposite of what you're actually trying to achieve. So for example, now you take a loan, you take this conventional loan, someone else is going to benefit, riskless profit, and they're going to become stronger. And guess who the someone else is? It's a non-Muslim. So someone else is going to get benefit from that riba that you're going to be giving into. And technically speaking, let me just kind of give you one more example. Is hindsight, when you take $1 million riba loan, you're probably paying 1.6, $1.8 million back. If you guys don't think about this, right? It seems like 6%, 5%, 4%. No, no, no. Do the compounding effect. I have a finance degree, so I'm telling you right now. Do the compounding effect. There's a compounding formula. Look it up online. Then you'll see that you end up paying about 1.5 to 1.8 million, depending on what the rate is, depending on the amount you have taken, blah, blah, blah. You end up paying quite a bit of more. So, Kat, somebody's benefiting this, right? Somebody's making profit of this. Who is this person who's profiting of this? It's not a Muslim. It's not the Ummah. Think about it from that perspective. But if you take halal loan, maybe you'll be a Muslim that might benefit from it, from the aspect of the rental income that they make. Kat, so still the Muslims are becoming stronger. The next thing is when we give this idea from this, oh, we will become weak and we should pick up loans, we're giving the idea to our youth and our Muslim community that we have to become this softer version where we have to go and get these loans, and then that's how we can afford a house. Let's go back to the teachings that we come from. There's a genuine teaching in Islam against concepts of loans from our Sahabas. And I can go into detail about that in another video if you guys want. But Kat, what I'm trying to say is that when you promote this, you're promoting the next generation not to work hard, not to figure out a solution, to go for what is the most convenient way, even if it's haram. So I'll give you what the solution for this is. And this is what Muslim brothers in my circle are doing. What they do is they can end up buying a house within 10, 15 years, whereas you guys on conventional loans will be ending up buying it within 30 years. So the brothers who are taking, sisters who are taking conventional loans, in 30 years, 25 years, they're going to be paying into this riba concept where they're doing haram and then they end up buying a house. Whereas brothers who are working hard and they have a structure, a business plan in place to end up buying the same house within 10 to 15 years. And I went over this a little bit before in one of my TikToks, but inshallah, if you guys want, I'll show you guys my business plan on how I will be, like I'm in journey, getting a place here in the West if I want to really within the 15 years of how I allocate my investments, the same amount that would have went into a riba-based mortgage, and then bringing all that money back because it grew faster than your appreciation on real estate and the interest rate that you've given out, then you can buy on cash. And I know families, genuinely I know family, within 8 years of very hard working, where all the brothers and the father work together and pool their money, and they recently just bought on cash a $1.3 million house. So subhanAllah, there are solutions out there, but you just gotta be the type to be working hard for those solutions, rather than going towards an easy route of haram. So, for example, I'll give you another example. This is what a lot of people need to understand. I have a lot of these uncles that tell me, oh, halal mortgage is the same as conventional mortgage. It's like, you grab your ear from one side or you grab the ear like this. It's still the same. It's two different things. It's like saying the meat of the beef is the same thing as the meat of the pork, because in the front, they both look the same. They both are red. They both have fat on it. But there's a huge difference, because how does it affect your soul? How does it affect your body? How does it affect, the way you live and the repercussions of this on your family? Is pork haram? Yes, we establish this and we don't eat it. Yes, okay, good. So then we eat the beef, right? Just like that, you have to understand these things. There's a difference between halal and haram when it comes to these loans also. As a whole, I wanted to summarize this for my brothers and sisters who out there who are using the necessity argument and the we will become weak in the West argument to justify haram. You guys can't use these arguments as a whole. If you disagree with me, subhanAllah, there's no problem with that. You can let me know in the comments what's your opinion with verified facts, and then inshallah, we can carry the conversation forward from there. Check out my other social media and let me know what you guys think. Take care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum.